Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Drake Pellegrin, who will fight on BFC 79 September 20th. Hello, Drake. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. And Drake, you will be fighting against opponent who is Julio Philip, and let's say that he's probably not the best fighter in the area. So we can assume that it will be a good performance for you. But if you can tell me what is the plan for this fight? Do you want to add another quick submission?
No, the plan is actually to strike a good bit in this fight. I want to work on my stand-up. I've gotten to show a little bit of it as an amateur, but my first pro fight, I didn't do much striking. I threw a couple calf kicks and then got to my takedown. But I want to feel out a 5-minute round. I fought for a minute and a half last time, so I want to get some experience in the cage as a professional. Mix up my strikes a little bit more, land elbows, mix levels, show a full, well-rounded game. This wasn't my first option as an opponent. I had a couple other guys that I was looking at before this fight came up, but he was just happened to be the guy that said yes when others didn't. So that's what we're doing.
And probably for you, the cage time is quite important because usually you finish your opponents quite quickly, which is like a super good thing. But also the cage time is like experience is nothing like experience. So probably it's good to be like 2 or 3 minutes in the cage just to feel the opponent, just to like measure a distance and of course finish him after that.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. That's the plan. I've been in, like, outside of my MMA record, I've done a bunch of kickboxing smokers and kickboxing fights and stuff like that. So I've spent a good bit of time in the cage. I think altogether this will be my 17th or 18th fight. So I've got quite a bit of experience, and I've been doing this for a long time. But it's still just the professional gloves, the professional rounds. I want to feel it all and experience it again.
And after this fight, when would you like to be in the cage again?
Probably first quarter of next year. I would normally try to squeeze another one in before the end of the year, but we're gonna have our baby about a month after this fight comes up. So I want to just adjust to how life is gonna change, and I don't want to go into camp and commit to being in a fight camp whenever all these things are going to be changing around me. I want to be able to put 100% of myself into a camp and be ready to fight.
And do you feel any additional motivation with the like knowledge that you know that you will be a father and there is not only just you but the whole family?
Exactly. Yeah. I've always been super disciplined and super motivated and wanting to train and wanting to work hard, but I feel like my reason why I'm doing it just got a lot better and a lot stronger. And I'm definitely feeling it in the gym. I'm pushing hard. I'm getting really good rounds. I'm super sharp, and my mindset is just in a better place, I think, than it has been in the past.
So when you are finishing the fighters quickly, when before right now you even may did it much quicker.
It's possible. This time I want to get some experience. So the plan isn't to get a quick finish, but if it materializes, if I set them up and I get the right shot, then I'm gonna take it. I'm not gonna string them along, but I wanna show them all of my skills.
And overall, do you have a like the finish that you would like to get in the fight? Like, of course, that you have right now twister. You also have heel hooks, arm bars. But do you have a one finish either by knockout or by submission that you would like to end the fight with?
I've been working hard on my boxing, so some finishes with my hands. I've actually never gotten a knockout with my hands. My one knockout that I got was with knees. So I've never actually put someone away with my hands. So that'd be pretty cool. But I really anything that I can, like, I've finished fights all kind of different ways, and I've never really went into a fight thinking I'm gonna finish with this submission or this move. It just kind of materialized in the moment with using my setups and doing the things that I drill in the room.
And this will be your second pro fight. And is there any difference between your training camps as the amateur and this training camps, this one before and this one?
I've definitely gotten better at doing the training camps. but I'm not changing a lot of what I'm doing. I'm able to train more now than I used to because my job changed. I'm now like a full-time coach and fighter. I work at Ignite Fitness, the shirt that I have on right now. I work at Train Unique, and I teach jiu-jitsu at Gladiators Academy. So, and that's all in the same building. It's just a strength conditioning gym and then an MMA gym that are attached to each other. So I get to make my own schedule, make my hours that I want to train, and then pick up PT hours on whenever I'm not training. So I'm at the gym all day long now, and I get to train a lot more than I used to, but I'm doing a lot of the same things.
So you are like live and breathe the sport.
Exactly. Yep. I'm at the gym. I get to the gym at 8 a.m. almost every day, and I leave at about 9 p.m. I'm training 3 to 5 hours a day, depending on what this hard training and versus light training schedule looks like for that day. And I'm coaching the rest of the day.
And do you think that the coaching of younger fighters or like ordinary people helps you in any way?
Absolutely. It helps a lot with just seeing other people go through the same things. And then like I work with a gym, the gym Train Unique that I work with. I see a lot of people with we get a lot of people with special needs. So either like physical, mental disabilities, and just seeing the things that people go through, and then they still show up to the gym and don't have any excuses, and they work as hard as they can during that hour that I see them. It's motivating to me because I'm like, what excuses do I have if this person who's paralyzed is showing up to the gym 5 days a week? Or this person that has Down syndrome is here with a smile on his face every day and putting in hard work. Why would I have an excuse to not do it?
So it's like they are you are helping them and they are helping you. It's like a perfect situation.
Exactly. I love it.
And if you can tell me what was the reason behind your start MMA training?
Well, I started first in traditional martial arts. I started doing Taekwondo when I was 7. I started doing that because I watched Kung Fu Panda and wanted to be like Kung Fu Panda. But then whenever I got a little bit older, my best friend and I started watching fights together whenever we were like 12 years old. And we would watch a UFC card and then stay up until 5 in the morning wrestling back and forth with each other. And I realized that I did not know how to grapple at all. So I found a jiu-jitsu gym when I was like 13 years old. Fell in love with jiu-jitsu. It's the only sport that's ever come natural to me. I always sucked at throwing balls and running, but I was really good at grappling for some reason. Um, so it just made sense to me. I love doing it. I never stopped doing it from 14 until I left for boot camp when I was 18. I was training multiple times a day, every day, and made my MMA debut when I was 19.
And about your grappling, I think that you have this like really fun, friendly style. That you are taking the risk. You are not afraid of being on your back. So overall, I think that is the best kind of grappling for the from the fans perspective, and everybody probably appreciate it.
I agree. I don't want to be like a lay and pray grappler where I'm just taking people down and holding top positions. I like to attack my submissions and be aggressive with my attacks. And I'm super confident in my jiu-jitsu. I'm confident off my back. If you ask my coach, I'm too confident off my back. But but I love the scrambles and I love making action happen on the ground. I'll jump a flying triangle. I'll attack a heel hook off my back. I'm not afraid to do a lot of things that a lot of fight people say you probably shouldn't do. And it might get me in trouble one day, but right now I'm having a good time.
And also you're very active on the like grappling scene, right? You are taking a lot
Yep.
of grappling bouts.
Yep. I did this fight camp. I actually did a professional grappling match like right at the beginning of fight camp. Got a Kimura submission, and then a couple weeks ago, right in the middle of fight camp, I did a grappling tournament and got first place with 6 submissions.
And do you like the like this idea of combat jujitsu? So the jujitsu with open-handed strikes.
I definitely think it's cool. I tried to get one that professional grappling match I did at the beginning of my fight camp. I was trying to get a combat jiu-jitsu match on that card, but they couldn't find a brown belt around my size that wanted to do one. So I ended up just doing a regular grappling super fight. But I definitely like to do it. It'd be fun.
This is like from my perspective quite cool concept because it's not as brutal as MMA, but there is that this kind of risk that in the end you can be hit in the head.
Exactly. You have to respect it. You have to understand your distance to the other person. You can't do a lot of the sport jiu-jitsu stuff that puts you in bad spots. Like I do a lot of stuff off my back and I attack legs a lot, but I'm really smart about where I put my head and how I are the distance between me and the person I'm grappling with. So I think my style of jiu-jitsu adapts really well to MMA, even though it's not like traditional MMA jiu-jitsu where I'm just on top in half guard throwing punches or something like that.
And in your pro debut, you won by Twister, so you are in the unique group of the guys like Korean Zombie, Bryce Mitchell, the very small group of fighters.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that twister a lot. I actually landed a few times in camp against some of my training partners that fought on that card with me, and they were very upset about it. We were all like 2 weeks out from the fight, and I just started twistering everybody, and they were like, "This is not helping my confidence. You need to stop doing this." But we all won that night, so it was a good night, and we all looked really good.
And about your sparring partners, if you can tell, if you can share any names that the fighters that in your opinion has the have the like big potential, and they also can be considered as the good prospects.
Yeah. My main sparring partner's name is Rylan Melanson. He's main eventing this card that I'm fighting on, so I'll be the third to last pro fight, and he'll be main eventing. He's 5-2 as a professional right now. He was 8-3 as an amateur, so he's got a lot of experience. He's fought some very tough guys. Fought for Fury for a while. Decided to start doing most of his fights closer to Lafayette for right now because it just pays better to be close to home. You get ticket sales, t-shirt sales, all that stuff that you don't get whenever you travel. But he's been killing it. He's on like a 3-fight win streak right now, knocking guys out in the first round. And I think he's a couple fights away from being on a contender series or something like that.
Yes, I remember that he fought for Fury, which is the one of the best promotions on the regional scene. So it's like meaning a lot.
Yep, absolutely. And he fought some very tough guys on there. I don't think the ones that he lost out there, I think he is very on par with those guys skill wise. I think he got in his own head a little bit, but he's one of the best in this area. He is the best guy at our gym, I believe.
And about MMA in Louisiana, we have like few very big names from the UFC from Louisiana. And in your opinion, who is the best from the area like ever?
The best from Louisiana.
Yes.
I think I mean, if you're going by resume, it's got to be DC, but he doesn't really rep Louisiana anymore. So I'm gonna go Dustin Poirier.
But both names are really like big because of course DC was a double champion and he did a lot of great things. But Dustin was in the top five for like I don't know 10 years probably.
Yeah, yep, interim champion. And brought the belt back to Lafayette. Still trains in Lafayette whenever he's out of camp. He's he helps out around the gym no matter like he'll help you out whether it's your first amateur fight or you've got multiple pro fights. Like he's always there to talk with you, give people advice. Like he's a great guy to have around.
Not many people talk bad things about him.
Oh no, not at all. I see why he's a great guy to have in the room. He's very helpful to everyone.
And when you are thinking about your career, when would you like to be signing one of the bigger promotions? Do you see the let's say a middleman for you? So you have right now you are fighting for BFC, but do you
Mhm.
see the promotion in between before you will get to like the UFC level?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now the plan is to do 5 or 6 fights like I'm doing right now, where they're either close to home or for another promotion in Louisiana where I can make good money because it's hard to make money traveling in MMA. You make maybe a grand if you're like once I'm get to that 5-6 fight range, I'll make maybe a grand. I don't get as many sponsors whenever I fight out of Louisiana. I don't sell tickets, so it's like cutting my purse into like a third of what I make whenever I fight here. So I want to get like 5 or 6 fights in this area, and then whenever if I'm getting to that point where I'm like 5-0, 6-0, Then I'll go try to get fights for like a Fury and LFA, something like that. I train with Alan Joban, so he told me whenever I'm ready, he can get me on an LFA card, something like that. And then a couple like that on Fight Pass against high level guys, just see where I'm at. If I'm winning there, then I think around 10 pro fights, I'd like to make the jump to fighting on a contender series or something like that.
So contender series, do you think that it will be like 2026 maybe?
Probably around 5 years from now, probably so. I actually write about this every day in my journal. I'm gonna be in the UFC by the time I'm 25 years old. So that's 4 years from now. So around then, probably.
And do you like to journal the like only the plans or also the like the thoughts that you have in your head?
I'll write about how I'm feeling, as like training wise and stuff like that. I write about where my weight is every day. I used to write about what I ate every day, but now I eat the same thing every day, so it got a little pointless to do that. Um, I write what the goals are, short term and long term. So right now it's like on September 20th, I'm gonna finish Julio Phillip um by strikes or submission. And then I go into my longer term goals and stuff like that, like fighting 3 to 4 times a year, putting in good training camps, doing the work consistently, being in the UFC by the time I'm 25, um, and then being a champion by 30 years old.
I think that this is something cool in this that you have a pen and you are like doing this like the notes in your notebook, not
Yep.
doing on the computer. There is
Yep.
something really cool that let your head be not interrupt with the a lot of things that you have in your computer or in the internet.
I agree. I like something about pen to paper just makes it like a lot more tangible and makes it real. And I've written about it so many times now that like in my head it's just a fact and I'm just waiting for everyone else to find out. Like I know it's gonna happen. I'm gonna make it happen.
And do you go back to the notes from like 2 or 3 years ago?
Hmm. Um, what about them? I'm sorry.
Do you like to go back to your notes from like 2 or 3 years ago to see how you felt in that moment, or you are like checking some things from that time?
I've been doing this. I've been writing consistently for about 3 years. So I haven't really went back and look at what it looked like in the beginning. Um, I don't even know if I have the notebook. I don't know where it would be like whenever I first started. The reason I started was I read the book Think and Grow Rich, and they talk a lot about desire and just like writing things out and putting like using your visualization to get the things that you want and desire to do in life. Um, and I started writing because of that book, and I just never stopped.
And do you have any like dreams outside of fighting? Because of course that you want to be in the UFC, you want to be like world champion, but also outside of fighting, do you have any like goals, maybe about business, maybe about other hobby, other passions?
Really outside of fighting, I focus on my family and the people that I coach. I'm about to be a father, so just supporting my family and giving them the best life possible is what's important to me. I want to the reason I feel like my reason why I do this now is to take care of them and then also show them what's possible whenever you don't do what everyone else expects of you and do what you love to do and chase it relentlessly for as long as it takes. Um, Outside of fighting, like long term, I think I'm probably gonna I want to own a gym and pour back into the community. It's changed my life. I've done it my entire life, and I literally don't know what I would be doing without it because it's all I've ever known. So I want to give that to other people because I feel like I'm such a better person because of what I do.
And of course, I think that when you will have a child, you can be a good role model. That you have dreams, that you have goals, and you are going for them. Like, of course, you are like super motivated, and then you try to get to the like point that you want to be in. But the like all the struggle that you can show that hard work is important, that discipline is important, and if these things are checked, a lot of great things will happen.
Exactly. That's exactly my thought process on it.
And outside of fighting, when you are outside of the training camp, so you have a little bit more free time. What do you like to do then? Maybe also outside reading.
Yeah, so I train year round, so I'm in the gym even whenever I don't have a fight coming up, helping teammates and stuff like that. I'll do more, I'll pick up more sessions as far as like personal training and coaching and stuff like that outside of the gym. My wife and I like to travel. We'll go do hikes and stuff like that. We will go to Mississippi to do some hiking trails out there every now and then, North Louisiana. We like being outdoors a lot. I don't like to sit inside all day if I can avoid it. Right now, because of this hurricane, I can't avoid it. But usually we like to be outdoors doing stuff. We both grew up on the bayou, so if we can go home and be on the water, hunting, fishing, being in boats and stuff like that, we both love doing things like that. Most of our life is either I'm in training camp and we're home gym every day, or we're going somewhere to be in nature.
And also about your training, do you ever thought about going to the maybe some bigger gym, but not to stay there, but just maybe between training camps, just for a few weeks to check the like other perspective on your like skills?
Yeah, I definitely have. We travel every now and then within this area to cross train with other people. I've tried to go We've tried to make a couple trips to Houston because we have connections with Eve Edwards gyms out there. So like to go train with Rafael Stotts, Matt Schnell, all of them in their gym is something that we've been trying to do, and it just didn't work out. I think last time Rylan and I were gonna make the trip out there, he ended up getting super sick and it didn't work out. Um, we also have one of our old training partners went to Factory X Muay Thai once he got into the UFC. So we want to go make a trip one summer to go train with him, because he has a place like we'd be able to stay out there and we get to go train with those guys. He loves it out there. So I definitely have like an idea to go do things like that. It's just getting everything lined up to actually go do it, because we've made attempts recently and they did not work out, but we try.
Okay, Drake. So thank you for this conversation. I think that in your next fight it will be a quite easy fight for you, but I hope that you will get a time that you want, and
Yep.
and that you will win a few more fights, and then we can see you in a bigger promotion, maybe on UFC Fight Pass.
Absolutely. I hope so too. Yeah, I definitely think it's a good matchup for me, and I'm gonna be able to show all of my skills. I'm not taking anything for granted. I know he's gonna come out there and swing hard early, and I can't go out there and be stupid and get myself caught. So I'm still approaching. It's a cage fight, so I'm approaching it in a smart way. I want to pick him apart, set him up, be smart about my strikes that I'm using, and go find a finish. But hopefully show that I do have some type of knockout power, because I have yet to be able to do that.